Good morning, everyone. My name is Aisulu. Very glad to see you here. Thank you for coming. So today I'd like to talk about 5 steps how to become a cool science teacher. And as Sanjay told before, 2 years ago, I just was sitting like you, having no experience in teaching science, having no idea what's going on, and probably having some ideas that how it differs from English, just simple English lessons, what efforts should I put, and etc. I had many challenges on the way. However, by collaboration, support of Sanjar and my other colleagues and even parents feedback also helped us to improve our teaching system. I have been teaching at Quantum STEM School for 2 years. I am a CELTA certified and I also have TKT CLIL, and I have a background in biological sciences. Okay. Also, I have been working as an English teacher for quite a long time before starting to teach science. And when the Quantum STEM School was opened, I was invited here to teach English at the beginning, but since they saw that I have also a degree in science, they proposed me to teach science. And so here my journey began. So let's go. So yes, I wanted to just say how what is the difference in my background. So I have been ECL teacher from 2014. Okay, so yes. Now I want to focus on becoming a science teacher. We have divided this whole journey into 5 steps. And I will explain each step thoroughly. It's planning, materials preparation, classroom management. So these 3 steps actually were during the last year. Like it was my first year experience that I have concluded what I should do. And during my second year, I have also improved the methodology, let's say, how to improve vocabulary and add some scaffolding in assessment. And inquiry. What is inquiry? We will talk about in more detail. So before planning, it's important to use the teacher's guide. So here I can give you the example of teacher's guide. We will be working in the context of the 2nd grade, okay? Because from the 2nd grade, they start assessment. Students start assessment, so I will be talking in the context of the 2nd grade. Of course, teacher's guide is the main tool to prepare for the lessons. However, there are other aspects as student's book and activity book. You can also see maybe on your tables, there is a student's book and activity book, okay? Student's book is quite colorful. It has some text, pictures, and etc. And the activity book is black and white and mostly has some tasks and probably some explanations of some experiments and etc. So probably you will have 1 copy per table, or maybe you'll have 1 copy for a pair. You can work as a pair. So it's important that you will be looking through the books while I'll explain. So, and the last. Yes.
We learned the single modifications 14 minutes.
Sorry?
Is it 14 minutes right now?
Yes, I'm going to explain exactly. It's very good that you have mentioned that, because I'm going to focus on that, like how to deal with the teacher's guide and etc. So since you have all of these materials, so this is what you have to have before planning the lessons, okay? Teacher's guide, student's book, activity book, and the question bank. Yes, there is a question bank. Sorry. Okay, thank you. So these 4 items that must be on your hands before you start planning the lesson, and I'll explain why is it important. Okay. So we're going to look at the. Yeah, as I said, so we have a student's book, activity book, teacher's guide, and the question bank. Probably you will see how to access the question bank later at EduHub. So it's available at EduHub. Probably when you get your account and etc., you can access. Okay, the information is given here. So you go to my resources, my Pulse Science International and question bank folder, and it opens a question bank for each unit. Okay, so this is how to access all these materials. And yes, planning prep teacher's guide. So how is this scheme of work is different, and what are the main parts of this scheme of work? You can look at your copy and see what, as you mentioned, the periods are different, right? You said the how long it takes. So here you have 40 minutes period. So one period is like 1 academic hour, let's say. It's 1 academic hour. Any other differences? What can you see? Probably the probably maybe it differs from English lesson plans. How does it differ from English lesson plans? Or maybe it's the same. Any ideas? Sorry?
No grammar.
No grammar. Okay. Although it has vocabulary, right? Okay.
Yesterday you were given the teaching plan for math, and today you are giving the teaching plan for
You have the copy? Yes, yes. So you can see we are going to look at the unit 11, the magnets and the scheme of work. We are going to look at the scheme of work. So maybe I can only also maybe focus on some important parts. As you can see, it's the topic important. It's about magnets. Okay, 7 periods. It means 7 academic hours. So one unit will include 7 academic hours. So this is what you should know before planning, and how these academic hours are spread throughout the unit. Okay. Also, it's important to focus on the resources, because science is different from other subjects that we use more practical things. We do some experiments, we design some toys that are related to the topic. Okay? So there we can see the resources. It's not just a book, it's cardboard, paper plates, glue, steel clips, and etc. etc. We will do some practice today using these materials. Okay? So this is important part of planning. If you open the next page, what can a magnet do? So this is lesson 1. So this is here you can also have a look, take your time, and maybe you can tell me what are important parts of the teacher's guide here. What would you focus on while you're planning? Sorry? Agree. Yes, learning objectives. Exactly. So they're very important. Exactly. So engage, explore, right? We will talk about it later. So it has explain and elaborate and evaluate, right? So it has, it was divided into sections for a particular reason. Okay, good. So mostly everything is right. Also, we have to look at the duration of the lesson. So all these procedures are supposed to take place in 2 academic hours. Learning objectives, of course, and the procedure. We have to thoroughly read every step that they propose us. Yes, lesson instructions, there are some questions, what to do, suggestions for activities. Okay, so this is about teacher's guide. However, we also, as I said, it's not the only tool for planning prep, right? You can look through the book. It's the colorful one. It's called Student's Book, from pages 126 to 135. So as you remember, we are talking in the context of unit about magnets. Okay? So you can look through the book. And what is the main part of the book? We have the unit, as you can see, the concepts are given, examples are given with colorful pictures, even some questions. It's important to go through all of this. So the next lesson is about another learning objective. What are some uses of magnets? And by the end of the unit, you have some conclusions, wrap up, and test yourself, okay? This part is important because it helps you to understand what your students are expected to know by the end of the unit. It's quite clear, but in my situation, when I started planning, I only looked at the teacher's guide and I didn't look at test yourself because maybe I was stressed. I had some probably, I was focusing on just making plans. However, now I don't do that. I also look at test yourself part because I know what they're expected to know. So while I'm teaching, I focus on those parts. So I already know what they have to know. Also, the activity book. Activity book, you can open the activity book pages 80 to 81. So it's black and white. Here, there is a let's review. So this is the end of unit tasks. Here as well, I read all these tasks to focus on what is important, what my students are expected to know by the end of the unit. So it's very important to read through, and these questions are not just direct questions. They require some critical thinking. They require attention, problem-solving skills. Probably I will design during teaching, design similar tasks so they are used to these tasks. And the last part of planning prep is the question bank. Okay, you also are given a copy of question bank for the unit of magnets. We will all need this later as well while we talk about assessment. So here you can also look through the questions. They're quite complicated. I want to remind you, this is the second graders. Yes? So this is for the second graders. They just finished the first grade. So the tasks are quite complicated. We're going to discuss how to deal with this a little later, okay? How to present this type of assessment to very young learners. All right, so having looked at all of this, you can start planning your lesson because you already know what is in your plan, what is in your teaching guide, and what your students are expected to know by the end of the lesson. And you have looked through all different types of assessment, and now you can start. So here we are going to complete this step 1, planning prep. However, I would like you to take time for quick revision. Please go scan QR code and answer some questions about this step. So just to recap. Yes. So I want to check if you remember all of it. This kind of revision. It's only 5 questions. You did well. How many points did you get? 5. Excellent. Okay. All right. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed it. Excellent. Good. Okay. Sorry? Yes. Mhm. So, yes. I'm not sure if you're just scrolling your phone or doing the test. Okay. So if we complete it, we can go back. Okay. So there will be more quizzes. Okay. Yes. After each step. Yes, after each step. So, all right. So we can proceed. Good. So step number 2 was materials prep. Okay. Materials prep start with, again, checking teacher's guide, resources and materials section. Also check for creative science sections of activity book. I will explain where and how to check it. Make a list of materials and count number of items for each class group, if class works in groups, or each student or people. Check for availability of materials in local stores, because sometimes some materials listed in teacher's guide may not be available. We just had this situation. Yeah. Yeah, and even some materials made of some metals like brass and etc. We just couldn't find it in a standard list. I don't know. So we just replace it with the things that are available. So it's not a problem. Just in advance, we have to do it. Decide who is responsible for supply. So it means who has to buy it. Parents or school administration, or maybe both. In our school, some parts are supplied by school, some by parents. We just tell in advance what materials they should bring to the lesson. Okay? So it depends. All right. So as I said, resources and materials part. Sorry. Yes, this was right. So from teacher's guide, you know the resources and materials part. There you can find the list of materials. Also, about creative science section of activity book. So creative science, a section, you have to look at the book directly, okay? And as I said, check for availability. So these photos are from real life. Some parents send us pictures like, is this good? Like, should we buy this? Or what color should I pick? And for example, these materials we're going to use today, okay? So we talk about magnets. We're going to do some practical exercise related to, and of course you have to count. For example, how many magnets should they bring? How many steel clips? Let's say, wooden sticks. How long should the string be, and etc. Okay, so everything should be counted. Otherwise, parents or school will ask you like, we need exact numbers, we need exact data. So it's important to do it in advance. Okay? If you open activity book page 77, 78, you can see the creative science section that I have been talking about, and you can see the materials listed here. And this exercise focuses on magnets, right? In this task, children are supposed to make a toy. It's called a fishing toy. So actually, we're going to make it, right? Yes. Okay. So I have some materials.
Besides all the materials is well.
Okay, with help of course our friends.
Teachers, it's one and after teaching.
So instead of wooden sticks, we're going to use the pencils. Okay. So please take one. Yes, you can just share. Maybe other tables. Take one magnet. Take one magnet. Okay. Yes. Yes, please. Magnets. We have a magnet. One string. You have two people, right? This. Okay. So, okay. So you see, I already cut. Okay, thank you. Mhm. And we also have the clips, paper clips, exactly. So, paper clips. So also paper clips, please don't forget. And cards and scissors.
Well, you have to share the scissors.
Yeah, scissors and the sticky tape.
We have to draw, of course.
Yeah, you can draw the fish. So as you can see, you can draw the fish, or you can just cut the fish, and you can just stick the paper clip. Yes. Okay. So from the both sides, you see, from both. So you can just put it from both sides. One, just one.
We can share this.
Okay. Like,
We have a scissors.
maybe. No.
It's fine. You can make a bigger fish
Mhm.
because we have enough materials.
Yes. You can draw a fish and cut, and then stick a paper clip.
Sure.
So at the end, it should look like this. Maybe you can see it. So it's just okay. So this is your fish, okay, with the paper clip. Yes. Yeah. Once your fish is ready, we will work with our chopstick or the pencil. So you tie the string to one end of the pencil and stick a magnet on the other side.
And the other side is magnet.
Yes.
Is stick or like this.
Maybe stick. Otherwise, it will just can. Excellent. Yes. Thank you. Do not expect kids to be this fast. Because what I notice is that they don't know how to tie. Of course, every step, yes, practical skill.
And then they ask million questions.
Exactly. You can also draw this because from the both sides. Mhm. Это у меня дети придумали так сделать сами. Я хотела одну сюда, одну сюда. Можно же так сделать? So kids are sometimes. So you tie this to the fan on the one side, and the other side you glue. You will stick with the.
It's not taking out.
Yeah, maybe also the stick tape is necessary.
But put it here, it's directly open, but if I put the reverse to it,
Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Good job. Yes.
and I see this for the playground on the park. My child wants to be, we want to fish, we want to fish. And also, we can do that
At home.
at home.
Exactly. Exactly. Ah, maybe. Yes, probably. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see.
At the mines.
Exactly. They just really like this game. They so when they had more time, they made more fish and yes, fishing exactly. Oh. Okay. Ah, you want to show? Yes. Exactly. Thank you. Yes, cheap and easy, and it's also in the book and everything available. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, great. I see that almost everyone completed. Yeah, me too, actually. So if we sum up,
The main question is how you finish doing this in possible.
yeah,
Second grade distance.
exactly.
Share your experience with that.
I'm going to show yes how it actually took place, like the first.
Do this after the child's muscle, finger muscle, going to be strong enough like these activities can go into the actually right affected.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to share how it took place in the class. Okay, so also they have the same emotions as you did just now. Okay.
There was a painting.
Yes, they could paint. Also, oh, sorry. I think I just closed. Thank you. Can you go back? Maybe. Okay. This is also the whole class doing. You see, they make a more creative fish.
The topic is magnets.
Yes, the same topic that we have started, magnets. Okay. So this is easy to manage class, so they are very quiet. Okay, they are not another class. And also, she's struggling to, focus. Okay, so this is how it was during the lessons. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so quick revision again. You already know what it is about. So next step is about class management. We're going to talk.
No cheating.
It's okay. So they learn not only from reading, but also by doing about magnets. That the main idea was that magnets attract metals. Like, so they see it, they do it. So this is important. That's why important to check the materials. Otherwise, it's very difficult to, organize the process. Okay. Good. So I think you're already good in this. Okay, doing the quizzes. So next, I'm going to. So now I would like you to compare these two classes. So this class you already saw, yes? Yes. So so remember this class, how they are doing, okay? They're sitting on their desk and Так, почему? Okay. And the second video, just come. What is the difference? Compare. What is the difference? This is another class, class 2E.
We have to choose places.
Yeah, it was actually an Nowruz celebration, so one of the girls is in traditional dress, Okay. Yes. So this is the back of the class, the place where they can just sit. Yeah, they have some space. And yes, it's their favorite place. But what is the difference between these two classes? Exactly. Okay. All right.
Imaginations.
Mhm.
Second Korean answer. What E is the word imagination and child classical and stones they imagine.
Yeah.
So like the words.
Exactly.
And they also did experiments sometimes it's broken
Exactly. So they are testing how good they, yeah. So in these two classes, we see the different class management. So in the first, they were just sitting and very quiet, you know, very following instructions. Second, they were very like loose, feeling independent. And actually, it was extracurricular time. They had no celebration and they wanted to do this experiment. So I said, okay, we can do it. So they were very relaxed. Okay, so yes, now we're going to talk about classroom management. Okay. Yes, while we're doing experiments. So what ideas do you have about classroom management? How to, maybe you have already experience in increasing learners' motivation, how to maintain the order in the classroom, discipline. Do you have any tools? Because otherwise, it's very difficult for students to focus. And it's also a teacher's responsibility to manage the class. So any ideas? What tools do you have? Okay, exactly. Yes. Modeling the task. Yes. Any other ideas? So
They are in the lesson, not
sorry.
the lesson.
Sorry?
They are teaching themselves. They are learning.
Okay.
They get activities. And all the activities and they're inside of the lessons.
But then, sorry.
They're not only looking to the lesson, they are inside of the lesson and
But,
also like a space. And always the child wants to be astronaut to using the one of the for the ship, spaceship. And when I see this one, and the students is be happy because they are in the lesson, all the activities, not just looking to boards.
Yes.
This is effective.
But sometimes, but because children don't have this some consciousness, let's say, yes, idea of discipline, they may not be focused, they may not listen to the instructions, they may be distracted, they may be asking the same question several times, which happens very often. They want to talk to each other, they want to interact. So maybe you can discuss, I don't know, in your groups, probably we have 2 groups today. Maybe you can discuss what are the tools that improve their discipline. Because in my experience, it was just they were running in the class, they were just, you know, never listening, not paying attention, especially after the pandemics. They became very independent, and it was very difficult to let them just sit and listen to the instructions. It was very difficult. And I remember from some of the feedbacks that I received from Sanjar, to be honest, I start improving and applying some methods for the classroom management. Yes, I see the. Okay, yes, pair, share, and effective method of classroom activity. Agree? Yes, so we have different ways of improving classroom management. It's increasing learners' motivation. So in my situation, it was like giving them some incentives, like some rewards. Let's say if you answer this question right, you will get a point. I will put a sticker. So maybe I will have the name on the board, and to each correct answer, I will put the sticker. And when they have collected, let's say 10 stickers, they will be given some good grades or maybe sweets, because the first year I had first graders and the only thing I could give them was actually sweets. I divided them into 3 groups, and each group was working and answering and collecting the points. I put it on the board, like team 1, team 2, team 3, and the team that collected the most points get some sweets, some candies. Yes. Otherwise, they just couldn't listen. And also they increased their motivation, the competition in the class. So reward and penalty. So this was the reward, yes, for answering questions. But if they misbehave, if they don't answer, I deducted the points. So they feel responsibility not for themselves, but for the team. And it was like some self-regulated teams. Sometimes if some member was not behaving well, they tried to, you know, calm down the person so they will not lose more points and achieve more. And establish learning process routine. It means they have to know every day how to start the lesson, what they do at the beginning of the lesson. Maybe you have some, I don't know, some traditions, how to say hi, where to sit, maybe some exercises and etc. And then maybe they know that there is a video and then there is discussion and then some writing tasks. So they have to know that there is a routine. So it must be like repeated every lesson. So you don't have to, you know, give instructions every day. But they, for example, in my case, when I show them some of the worksheets, they know, okay, now we are going to do this. They are ready already, okay? Or they ask, when are we going to do some vocabulary? Or when are we going to do some writing tasks? Because they're already used to this process, used to the routine. And maintain order in the classroom, of course, it's very important. So my method that improved was reward and penalty. So if they do something good, they are rewarded. If not, then there is some penalty, but it's not good to focus on penalty. It's just good to focus on reward, to be honest, because it's more effective. So next, maybe you can write some ideas at Mentimeter. Here you scan, and maybe you can write your ideas. What ideas maybe you have more, or you remember something new while I was talking about classroom management. And then we will see all the words collected on the board. Sorry. Интересно. Class management. Okay, okay. Yes, so we can see your allocating roles, division into groups. I like. So engagement, fun, rewards. Okay, levels of responsibility. I like that. Okay. Focus, motivate. Yes, motivation system is very important. Yes, punishments as well. At Quantum, we have this e-praise. They also get some points, so it's like an app. We have all the names of our students. We give them some points, and by the end of each week, they see who gets the highest points, and they have some rewards. Like we have this reward like breakfast with the with the director of the school. Let's say, okay, maybe some other perks for collecting funny. Sorry. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Okay.
Mr. Beast or Mr. Bean. Yeah.
That's also
Yeah, this is also like what they learn. You will just hook what they learn or what they like it, and then you will just use that one.
Exactly. So it's like fun is their like motivation, is
Yeah.
their award, like some
Yeah.
fun time. Excellent. We can see the class roles, behavior, breaks, engaging, creative chaos. Yeah, sometimes it works. Organizing effectively, agree. Competition, exactly. So kids like competition. Behavior, assessment by giving points, focus, noise meter. Yes, there is some kind of noise meters. Yeah, I know our colleague also
you may
use this.
yes, it's
Uh-huh.
online.
Right. Assessment by giving. Rules, yes.
But you know,
one criteria was time. Also, timing is also so you set a time, and if they don't finish in a certain time period, they will not get the point. So also very effective tool, setting time. I like that.
level of language
Mhm.
of like when you are giving the instructions, when you give the instructions only in English.
Exactly.
Of course, there may be some students they don't understand what do you what do you mean. And of course, these people, these students, they will be not interested on that on what you are saying, and then of course they will distract all the
Exactly.
lesson. And that's why it's good to group them with the smart the higher levels of the language they're in one group, and then second group, and then third group, and then I will prepare for the lower language levels. Like I will prepare with the translation, with something with the pictures, or maybe with the keywords, with the vocabulary words. I will prepare for them the poster.
Like differentiating.
Differentiate, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why if you differentiate, there won't be any
I agree. Yes. This is good approach. However, it has some downside, which is that the students that have lower language skills, they may still keep struggling.
yeah.
But actually, you're raising a good point, because my next step is about language.
Good.
Yes. So thank you for your participation. I really like ideas. Maybe I will even, I want to even use some of these ideas, like just to remind at the beginning of the year. Okay, we can go back to 41 responses. Excellent. Yes, we can go back to the presentation. So next step is vocabulary and scaffolding assessment. So vocabulary is main thing, because here we talk about adapting language to our children, like local children who don't know some of these words. Maybe they have good English skills for their level, but they don't know some terms, the concepts that we study study on science lessons. So I propose the drilling method. Drilling method is works very well with primary school, because they don't have abstract thinking, they have only concrete thinking. So it's just very simple. Just you pronounce the word and they repeat after you, of course, with the word given, with pictures. So this is how it happens. I give instructions, I say, you listen, and after that you repeat. So they must listen first, so they understand the pronunciation and stress, and only after that they can repeat. So it's can be choral drilling, it can be pair drilling or individual drilling. So if I see the student who's struggling with one particular word, I ask him or her to repeat the word until they improve the pronunciation. So for the vocabulary, this is how they learn the new words. Also, let's go back to our books. What words would you choose for drilling exercise? So pages 128, 29. So this is unit about magnets. So here, while I'm planning, I also choose the words that must be drilled during the lesson. That's why it's important to go through tests, revisions, so you know what words are significant in this unit. So probably the highlighted words, but also what other words would you choose to like focus children's attention so they know for sure. Mhm. Okay, any ideas? Because maybe we can, yes? Or wool, pull, okay, attract, pull, very good. Nails, yes, steel clips, yes. Sometimes I just choose those that are in assessment most of the time. Okay, let's look how it was done. So,
They have also iron.
yes.
And I see. They put the one on the back and the other. They're mixing and
Yes.
they get the magnets and they see where is the iron inside.
Exactly. There is a similar task in the book. Yes, very good. Yeah, so
I remember
they combine different
Yes.
objects and they pull with magnet only the metals, like
Yes.
steel or iron. Okay, great. So this is vocabulary drilling. You can check yourself how vocabulary drilling can be done orally, also in interactive way. You can check how kids actually did this exercise at home. This is their homework. I give these interactive tasks on wordwall.net. As you can see, I use it a lot. So, yes. So, really?
I want to check how the working.
So maybe it's a connection.
Here's a Wi-Fi.
So, yes. Also, you can actually make different this games. To be honest. Yeah. You can do this. Yes. This subscription to this website is $3 a month, so it's very effective. It's better to pay than having more headache. You know, $3 a month. It's just ridiculous. No, I subscribed. I think it's $3 a month. Yes, it's like something like more than 1,000 tenge, but it solves many problems. Yes, saves more headache, exactly. Yes. Yes. And also WordWall, if you subscribe, I'm not their ambassador or something, just
Experience. We are going to
yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes, school can subscribe to this. Exactly. We can do it actually. Yes, it's possible. Also, why it's good? Because they provide printables. So all the tasks that are interactive, they can be made PDF in PDF files. They can be printable. You got it, yes? So it's engaging. It develops a classroom routine. That's what I talked before. So when they see these papers, they are like ready to start. They're very excited. They actually like doing this task in a written form and both in an interactive way. So this is only about vocabulary. Okay, next. Maybe you're also tired, but yeah, but this is important also, scaffolding. Okay, so what is scaffolding? Scaffolding is using a construction So before building, while building the building, sorry, they use the scaffold so they can go up and up. Yes, so it's kind of support for the builders, constructors. Yes, so scaffolding is important in the context of our country because children don't know how to answer these questions. If you go back to your question banks, you can feel their, let's say, pain, while they're answering these difficult questions. Okay, so the format of the question is difficult itself. We came across with this problem last year while we started assessment, because the first year they didn't have assessment, second year they started. And of course, the first complaint was from parents, because they said, we prepare all day, all night, we study words, but children still fail these tests. Okay, so, and also the second reason, they feel frustrated. They feel that they will never succeed. And however they prepare, yes, it's very difficult for them to complete and achieve good marks at the beginning. So in order to avoid this frustration, in order to avoid the disappointment, and of course, we don't want them to, you know, be repelled from science. We want to attract them, right? So we decided with our colleagues to provide scaffolding. Scaffolding means at the so this is the level of our kids, and this is what let's say Singapore Science asks from us, right? In order for them to achieve these learning outcomes, we give them some support at the beginning, more support at the beginning. Very simple questions at the beginning. How? By looking at the questions and simplifying the questions. Okay. First, we simplify the questions, and gradually, we make it more and more difficult. So we start from very simple questions to more and more difficult, so we achieve the standards of Singapore Science. Okay, this is the main idea. So these are the main tools. Using simple words. Because if you read, there are very complicated academic phrases. Using simple words, replace it with simple words. Divide one complex task into simpler ones. If you see, the first task is this big. It's quite complicated. Just to understand how to answer, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C, D, right? So how to divide it? Adding pictures and illustrations. Somewhere there is no pictures and illustrations. Replace task instructions with simple. Instructions are also important and they may not understand, for example, instruction, which of the following is correct? For example, they ask, what is the word following? What is which? Okay, so they don't know these words. And etc. So instructions are also should be simplified. Then when you simplify it in all ways, after that, you design less supported questions. Less supported, which means more difficult, yes? And more difficult without pictures and even some open questions. Let's see how I made it. So one complex task, so from here, I divide it into two. Magnet can attract iron or copper, yes? Magnet can attract brass or steel. So instead of answering one question, they answer two, but very simple questions, and they feel more confident that they understand the topic. Okay. Next, also magnet cannot attract. Also, magnet cannot attract, and two tasks. Very simple. Next, which of the following is correct? So they have to read every sentence. They have to analyze every sentence. Instead, I give them three simple sentences. True or false, and then I combine them and change what is correct. Okay, what is correct, not which of the following is correct, what is correct. It's very important. You can't believe how it simplifies, and sometimes even they forget the word correct. So what does it mean? Yes. So since they know the simple sentences, they know this is true, this is false, and they can deduce which is correct from that. Okay. A magnet can move things without. Magnet can move things. So the first part, true or false, magnet can move things, touching them or without touching them. Here they just say without blah, blah, blah. And here we have only limited options. Okay, next, adding pictures. Again, which of the following is the use of, what is the use of magnets, blah, blah, blah. So you have the pictures, hold keys and key rings together, and they choose the right answer. And then you design less supported questions. Magnet cannot attract, and magnets. So we join clothes, wood. So magnet can attract wood, plastic, glass, so the other materials, but not iron and steel. Okay, so this is how I make less support. So when I prepare the lesson, I prepare vocabulary, level 1 questions. It means very easy questions, and level 2 questions, more difficult, and we have these tasks. Okay. So this is like level 3. And sometimes maybe open questions, they have to complete them. They have to complete. So it's like helping the child to ride a bike. Yes. At the beginning, you help them a lot because they can't drive, and at the end, they have to go by themselves. So scaffolding is important, otherwise it's very difficult to implement. And you can do the task, you can do the level 1 magnet quiz about, again, I made it. No. Yes, this, based on this, yes, I simplified them. Yes, so, yeah. Yes, I simplified them. Like, I know what vocabularies they have already, because if you remember previously, I taught them vocabulary, right? Yes, first I teach them vocabulary, and I make sure they know the words. And based on that vocabulary, I create small tasks. I created this, yes. Easy compared to this. Exactly, yes. Yes, this is true. Yeah, but this is true. Like, even these questions can be answered with my top students. However, sometimes they can be also like, sometimes unsure. And when they do all the levels, they're just perfect. They don't have any questions. They do well all the time. So it's just a little support at the beginning. So this is level 1. I didn't add level 2, but it's a little different and complicated. Okay, yes, so you had a look. We can move on. Sorry, another quick revision about scaffolding. What is scaffolding? Just and there is one last part, so it will be the end. No, they don't. Very good. Yes. Okay. Tricky. It actually develops probably while you're scaffolding, you're making lots of tests. Oh my God. So kids deal with that. Kids deal with that because here, if you look at the question banks, they have lots of not questions. So yeah.
Sometimes kids just click button, and then they see there is cannot, and they start.
Yes. And the last part is inquiry. So what is inquiry? So this is also about magnets. Okay. So it's the maze, right? So from the bottom, they have the magnet, and this is the metal. Yes. They have to go with the metal through the. I'm irritated sometimes. So while they are doing this exercise, what questions can you ask to improve their understanding about magnets? Yes. Why is this clip moving, right? What do you think is this metal, sorry, what is this object made of? Yes. Why is it moving, like, and etc. So these questions are called inquiry questions. It means you don't explain the concept, but rather ask question and elicit the concept from students. Okay, so inquiry is about active learning. So students will learn by answering the question. And for example, they have one fact, they have another fact, they have to combine this fact and make a conclusion about a new topic, new concept. Sorry. Okay. So inquiry-based learning is an active learning where students encourage students to ask questions. They also can ask questions and they can explore new ideas. Also, it develops their critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and research skills. Okay, so I can ask them questions. So at some part of the lesson, we have a discussion. Like when they know the words, when they learned how to answer the questions, they do some practical tasks, and so we have the discussions. They use the words that they have learned and analyze what happened. Okay, so inquiry questions are also given in teaching guide. They're given like, what do you think makes the steel clip move? Yes. What do you think that makes the steel clip move? If we change the steel clip to an eraser, right? So what happens if there will be another material but not the steel clip on this maze? Remember? So these inquiry questions, they elicit the main concepts rather than just saying the magnets attract metals, right? So this is what we call inquiry. Inquiry can be done in different. So this is the experiment that you told. So this is a bowl with different materials, and they put a magnet and ask which things will stay in the bowl. So what will stay in the bowl, not will be attracted. Okay, or so they show the experiment and ask questions. What is true about this experiment? It can be also on the book. All right, and what process skills does inquiry help to develop is predicting, communicating, inferring, observing, generating possibilities, analyzing. So they also develop their critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. So that's the last part about inquiry. You can answer some questions and we can complete.
According to the sentence,
Yes. Yes. Okay.
the points that you see for getting the snacks.
Okay.
So if you get 5 points, it means you can have one bun or whatever.
Yes.
We will check it.
So that will be your reward. It can change. It can change. Yes, you can pick up. Yes, so that's why it's very interesting platform. Yes, on the screen. Usually it's on the screen, and it's usually they can come to the board, or I ask them like.
More school did not give the permission for using phone,
Mhm.
but all students on that.
Yes,
Mm.
we know.
Yes.
Science and
Some.
teachers also.
Mhm.
I also or have a
Yeah, we also have tablets, but not for science lesson because they already use it ICT, in English, in math. So yeah, they come to the board, we have the same screen, or I answer, just, yeah. It's also like reward. This game is like as a reward sometimes.
That's the answer and the names.
Uh-huh. Right. Sorry?
We can get the quizzes online.
You word wall, but you can create.
Is it possible to you
So if
can
you say edit, so if you sign up,
I already signed up.
okay, okay. So you can edit and create your own quizzes.
And also how you get the online exam and you collect the results.
This is for training mostly, like as a homework, or but for the results, I have the same tasks but printed version, and they answer in a written form, and then they yes. So it's kind of a formative assessment. Yes. Maybe you can share your ideas. Sorry, it's too many. Maybe use a phone, but I didn't expect that you will be using it so often when we planned. But maybe because you will feel involved. Yeah. Okay. I will. If you, yeah, maybe we can check some ideas. Classroom management, and I think I have another view results. Выйти, да, нужно? Отчет. Это одно задание было, потом было еще, кажется. Это другое задание. Если выйти, наверное. Да, да, да. Ага, ага. Creating can be fun, develop, inquiry. Scaffolding, excellent. Be simple. Don't peel out. Good. I like the word scaffolding because because it's not easy. Classroom management, very well. Inquiry questions, inquiry, the last vocabulary, important, really. Yes. Oh, right. Very nice. Teaching book, like students book. Okay. Experiments. Any questions? That's okay.
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 Do you have any questions from the audience?
Okay.
So as a teacher of, as an ESL teacher and additionally as a science teacher, while teaching science for grade 2, in your opinion, what do you think? Which takes more time, teaching language or teaching some science concepts?
That's a good question. So if I compare workload of me and my colleagues who are teaching language, I would say that it's the same. Because my colleague who teaches the second graders, she also prepares lots of extra activities, practical tasks, also involve the online games, online homeworks. We have other platforms for reading, for doing extra exercises. Also about checking homework, checking essays and checking things. So we don't have that load of tasks, maybe with some formative assessments. It's shorter for me, as I see. And I don't have to take it home and, you know, grade every copybook. In this sense, it's easier. But in the sense of preparing, designing experiments, materials, at the beginning, it may be difficult because you're not used to it. But however, when you do it once or twice, and then you know what to expect from your students, so you just will know how to prepare better. So
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
And also about the difference between teaching language and teaching science, we're going to have a session today in the afternoon after lunch. It's going to be fluent in teaching science. There we are going to discuss some of the things Aisulu mentioned.
Right, so
Thank you.
that will be it for this session. Give a round of applause.